Nick, I am so happy you ventured without us during this.
I'm not.
Because you didn't get to feel the pain that we felt during Magnificent 7.
Ugh.
Exactly.
It wasn't, like, the worst movie of the year.
But it definitely wasn't fantastic. At the end of this movie, I figured, I came up with a word for it. This movie was polished crap. I think that defined it for me a little bit.
Pretty much
right there.
Sums up any remake nowadays.
Yeah. I didn't see the original. I can't say what this was better than or worse than the original. So going into this,
I did see the original.
Oh, so he's got some knowledge and I don't.
I've also seen Seven Samurai, which the original is actually a remake of. Both of those movies are way better.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because this movie was all over the place.
It was.
I'm not gonna completely tear this apart. I'm gonna try to throw in some good stuff in there.
There's some things that I think worked out well.
As if there are for me. I think the only one that kind of made this movie better than it could have been, or was the cinematography, I guess. There were some points where it was out of focus, but if it wasn't for the cinematography, I guess, then this movie would have been just god-awful.
There was definitely some very solid camera work, especially during the action scenes. Everything wasn't all shaky and hard to follow. I could tell who was shooting who.
Yeah, but I mean...
And I gotta give credit to at least the sound design.
Yeah.
The gunshots sounded like gunshots.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear any of that annoying pinging that's in every Western made in the 70s and 60s.
They learned,
I never liked.
They learned from some mistakes from the old Westerns, but they also didn't take the good stuff from the Westerns. Or at least if they did, they kind of just milked it dry. They tried using like classic-y Western music during the score in the beginning.
They didn't follow through with all that though.
It didn't fit either.
The music just kind of fell flat.
Yeah.
Never really.
It just felt like the score was for a different movie and was put in this one.
The original Magnificent Seven has one of the most iconic Western soundtracks. If you hear it, you'll recognize it. You might not know where it's from, but you'll have heard it before. And they did end up using it in the end credits, which
did they?
I don't know how I feel about that.
But other than that, I've only got bad things to say. So do you want to list some good stuff, maybe?
I mean, Denzel Washington was Denzel Washington.
I was about to say.
I mean, I guess you can't go wrong with that. He wasn't anything magnificent.
To me, that just feels like like Will Smith. Will Smith's Will Smith anymore. So it just feels like Denzel's Denzel anymore, and it's kind of
like the Asian guy.
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
Billy.
His name is Billy in the movie, but it's
Bung Lee.
I'll look it up. I'm gonna completely butcher this. Byung-hun Lee.
Hopefully that's right. I guess if we're just gonna go into acting, period. I guess we can go. Yeah, Denzel was Denzel. Chris Pratt was kind of a drunky douche.
Yeah, he was kind of an asshole.
But it didn't fit for him, like at all. And they didn't like capitalize on him being a drunky douche, except for maybe like one scene where he's like, "Hey, look at this card. Give me your bottle of whiskey." The one that stood out most of all for me, before my battery dies, was Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh, Vincent D'Onofrio, what are you doing?
What did they do? Absolutely amazing actor. Absolutely amazing.
Oh, it's fantastic. I
just don't know what they did in this movie. Why they made him do what he did in this movie, which was talk like this, really. He's not the guy. He's not the voice you want to make that voice happen.
He sounded like Mickey Mouse.
He did.
Honestly.
Oh, I'm tracking and I'm scalping Comanches. Oh, I'm done with that kind of life, though. It wasn't flattering at all, because I ended up laughing throughout a good portion of the film every time he spoke. And then, like, halfway through the film, after, like, halfway he was introduced, he kind of, like, they was changing his voice.
Yeah,
they were like, all right, you don't have to do that anymore. He's like, why? Oh, I guess I can talk like this now.
Yeah, he was kind of all over the place. He started out really goofy, and
I don't know what
I was not on board with that at all.
I don't know what they were doing.
Bartholomew Bogue?
Bogue? Bogue.
Yeah.
His character was kind of stupid, really.
He was just kind of there.
Yeah,
He didn't really do anything.
he wasn't really villainy. He was just a guy who had this business of mining gold, and then it just seemed like he didn't care too much about.
He liked to talk in proverbs,
Yeah.
but not good ones. It'll be a romp.
There's Michael!
Hey!
There's Mike!
Hey! Hey!
Michael!
Ah! 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 Not you. He's coming.
Look who it is.
Ah! This guy.
Yeah. So Mike, tell us what you thought about going into the movie in 10 seconds.
I thought that I have nothing better to do. It's my birthday. Treat yourself. And, yeah.
Good. All right. All right, so we're back again.
Yeah.
We just talked about the boss, Bert Bogue. Bartholomew Bogue.
Bart Bogue.
Yeah, he wasn't that great.
No.
He wasn't a good villain. He could have been handled actually way better,
He could have.
but he wasn't. His character was just very underdeveloped,
I mean,
really.
it's the same as every other Magnificent Seven version. Bad guy comes in a small town, tries to rough him up. They get a Ethan Hawke's
God.
bizarre one-liners. Yeah.
There's... Alright, I'm just gonna say this. The script... Script I hated.
The script was
I hated the script so much.
really bad.
For most characters, it didn't work with what they said. And
Or he could be like one of the three characters that doesn't say anything the whole movie.
and then there's people in the background saying stuff like you overhear it, you're like, why is that even being heard right now?
That's just bad audio right there.
Yeah, that's bad audio, and you're just like, all right, now I'm distracted by what that person over there is saying.
He's probably got a more interesting story.
Oh, dude. So, towards the end of the movie, there's a horse named Jack, who is apparently untamable, except for one man, and then, in the end, he's like, here, take good care of Jack, and the horse is just,
Horse doesn't care
Okay.
at all.
yeah, I can deal with this. I don't know if this would qualify for fight choreography, but, there's men running around with hatchets
Oh yeah.
and blades.
It's crazy.
And there's like 100-man army, if not more. And these 2 or 4, or however many men are just running around, just slicing people. And you're like, all these 100 men have guns. They have guns. And these guys are just slaughtering them all by just running around going, nope.
I kind of like how they introduced Billy, where he's some knife expert.
Yeah, but I
So,
think
it's
Billy...
like, you got like 5 knives. What are you gonna do when those are gone?
I think Billy was definitely the probably best introduced character.
Oh yeah, that was a great scene.
He wasn't
That
utilized
that
as much
was-
as he could have been.
Basically ripped straight out of the original.
Yeah.
That whole scene.
If only they probably could have done that more in this movie.
Like when the Native American character's introduced, and he pulls the organ out of the deer that he slaughtered, and he gives it to Denzel as like a peace offering.
Oh, God.
And he bites into it. It just looks like a piece of steak that they just covered in ketchup.
I kid you not, I turned to my man and said, I don't even think that's an organ. I think he literally pulled out a steak from that deer carcass.
Just pulled out a fresh T-bone.
Character development, you couldn't get attached to anybody. And even, they didn't really start, like, kind of backstories until more than halfway through. And then at that point, you're like, what's the point?
It kind of went the Suicide Squad way of
Squad.
introducing characters. Or it just kind of gives them a cool scene, and it's like, here's your character. Now they're part of the crew.
I even said to myself watching this movie, I'm like, this is turning into Suicide Squad so bad. But I don't really have too much other than that to talk about, really.
It ends on a really bad shot.
It's a terrible
Like,
shot.
it's just technically bad. It looks awful.
The whole plot of this movie was this business mogul comes to take over this town to mine the gold from the town and drives out most of the people. And this chick hires Denzel to come take back the town. We need to take back our town. It's the only thing we've worked so hard for, and we deserve it back. And at the end of the movie, the whole town is butchered. Houses are broken down. The church is burned to a crisp.
Church is
And
destroyed.
like, at this point, it's like, what was the point of that whole thing other than just a battle?
Yeah.
like everything was just destroyed, and I just laughed at it. I'm like, wasn't the point of saving the town, coming back to get it back?
It kind of reminds me of whenever at the end of a superhero movie, you know, you got all this destruction, and then it's like, well, I guess we got to clean this up now.
But luckily, they're superheroes, so they can like do their superhero powers to fix it.
Gone.
These people just destroyed their own town with dynamite and TNT and stuff. And they're like, yeah, we did good. We saved our town. Building falls in the background. Yep, good. We did it.
Good job, folks. It was also like just little subtle racist stuff here and there. You know, among the characters, you know, they're just kind of like, haha, you're Indian, right?
Yeah, I kind of wish they would have went.
But like during Denzel's introduction, you know, he's wandering through town. You can kind of see all the townsfolk being like, "Don't trust that man." But they never actually say why. Like, you know why, but they're just avoiding it. They never just. I
kind of hate when movies do that. I know like times are like real tough now, and we're not allowed to do that as like we were like 30 years ago or whatever. But I kind of wish they would, because just hinting at it is
you can't.
You might as well just not say it at this point. It's just don't even acknowledge it.
I want to see them make a Blazing Saddles style movie nowadays.
And I know it's tough.
Throw out all the rules.
But like, don't hint at it like this movie did.
Just don't acknowledge it, or acknowledge it completely. Don't go halfway.
Because back then, these people would have had problems with these other peoples. But in this movie, they were just like, I don't trust you, but I'm gonna get over it quick. And, all right, I'm gonna rate this movie now. I'm stuck between a 1 and a 2, so I'm just gonna 1.5. That's it. That's it right there. That's my rating. You see that?
I'm at a 3. I mean, the fight scenes were decent. If nothing else.
The only problem I did have with the fight scenes was they dragged on way longer than they should.
Oh yeah, the whole last half was.
This movie could have been hour and a half.
Easy.
Tops. This movie was what, 2 hours roughly?
And it was mainly like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was mainly because the battle scenes were just lasted so freaking long. So everybody, that was magnificently terrible.
It was great.
Over here, guys, is gonna be our last week's review, which was for
Blair Witch.
Blair freaking Witch.
I should know. I was there.
Over there, however, is going to be our most recent car vlog, which was IGN's preview of movies yet to come or something like that of 2016. And me and Mike talk about how either we're looking forward to movies or how we're not looking forward to movies. So enjoy that little piece over there. Down below is going to be Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Check out the social media, guys. It's fantastic. What's down below that, man?
Below that, it's going to be our comment section.
Ooh.
You also got a like, got a subscribe, got a dislike, but we're not so keen on that one.
Dislike sucks.
Just leave that
if
one
you dislike us, I dislike you, okay?
That means something.
Let's get that straight.